Previously on TV Tuners.
Bees stung my hands. I can't play the piano.
My car is rolling down the hill.
The president has been assassinated, and you are the prime suspect.
The battle of the band is a couple days, and we only have drummers.
I just got impaled by a spear.
I did too.
I can't believe I've killed those people with those spears.
And now, TV Tuner continues.
Hi there, folks, and welcome to TV Tuners, a television podcast for the true fanatics. It's a weekly dive into the latest in TV news and reviews. With me, as always, is my co-host and orphan kid trying to become an assassin, Stairmaster.
My parents are dead.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. And with us, as always, is our other co-host and wise but vicious teacher, Kiorein.
It's time to kill some people.
Whoa.
That's what my favorite line.
In anything?
No, I just did this.
Oh, okay. And yeah, we're back at it again. Another week.
Another TV.
That's right. Each week we tune a different television.
We calibrate them very carefully so that they're on the exact correct channel.
Do not adjust your signal.
Then it'll explode otherwise.
These are very old televisions.
Yes, they have dials. All right, what'd you guys watch this week?
Oh, I watched The Bundy Files.
Oh no.
Yeah, that guy was up to no good.
Would you say he's a rascal?
Yeah, I'd say he's a delinquent.
That Bundy was always out looking for trouble.
Yeah, but you know what? He looked like a snack.
Yeah, that's what I heard. He was a real appetizing platter of delicious devilishness.
Stairmaster,
yeah,
I want you to spell snack for me.
S-A.
He was a real sack.
Oh. Ted Bundy, more like Ted Daddy. Daddy.
The correct spelling, of course, was S-N-A-C-C.
Snack.
He can murder me any day. Just fuck my face with that knife all night long.
Well, the faces weren't the parts he was fucking. He purposely kind of got rid of that part.
Oh, dear. Also, I watched the Firefest documentary. Fire?
Which one?
The Netflix one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't know they were dueling documentaries until after I was finished.
What I found out, I didn't watch either of them yet, but what I found out before is that the Netflix one is funded by the company that started Firefest.
Yeah.
Which is a very shocking reveal.
Is that a conflict of interest, do you think?
Well, it was like the PR company, not the actual production.
Yeah, it was
company.
the PR firm. But also still.
They were trying to wash their hands, but
yeah.
I don't think it actually made them look any good. It just made them look incompetent.
Which one, and then the Hulu one is made without any inclusion from people, like without any companies that were involved being productions.
Yeah, but they actually interviewed Billy whatever his name was.
It's true, yeah. What, this Netflix one did?
Yeah.
Mm.
No, the Netflix didn't interview him.
Oh, wait, which one has the guy who said that he thought he had to suck someone's dick?
The Netflix one.
Okay. Well, I guess that's worth it.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts?
Why did they think that guy had to suck a dick? How did that come up?
He really needed water. And he thought he might have to, suck for it.
The impression I got was like it was Billy's idea that if he sucked a dick, they get the water, but...
That's where the water comes from.
Why? Okay.
This is simple biology, Stairmaster.
Yeah, this is what I learned from years of public schooling.
Anybody in particular teach you that?
Yeah, my science teacher, Mr. Black.
Oh, no.
That was the actual name of my science teacher.
Oh, no! As Coach.
We're going to edit that out.
Was Coach an actual faculty member?
I think.
Oh.
Did you see him at any of the school events?
No.
Oh.
I watched Dragon Ball Super Broly Adventures.
Wow.
How was Broly's butt?
They're grossly overrated it.
Oh, a shame.
No, it's flat.
It was flat and unappealing.
Broly was not looking like a snack.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So you would say Broly is not a snack?
No, but they actually managed to make his character make a little bit of sense in this movie.
Oh, nice.
Do you want Broly to murder you or not?
I want him to push me to my physical limits.
Same. And now Swanson's the only one that's left out of watching Broly and this segment.
And it'll continue to be the case. Well, for the Broly part. I watched a lot of things this week, but for one last time,
try hard
until next season, I'm going to put over The Good Place.
Okay.
They had their season finale, and it was good. Things happened, and people did stuff.
Okay.
Did anybody jump?
Oh my, what?
Jump? Like what? Like a canyon?
Like
might as well jump?
Did they jump, like, at all? Period. Was there any jumping? Did somebody jump?
How many punches were thrown?
Zero punches.
Jump.
I don't think there were any jumping.
Did anyone go Super Saiyan God?
No, for sure not.
Well, there's no jumping. What's the point, honestly, at this point?
I'm trying to think if there was actually any jumping. I guess technically there was some jumping, yes.
You know what had a lot of jumping? Dragon Ball Super Broly.
Did it? Because it seems more like their thing is flying.
Well, you of course you'd say that. You didn't see it.
There was plenty of jumping.
They do a lot of jumping in the...
It was Broly's animated. Name. They actually put, like, frames of animation on there.
Yeah, like, Goku's like, hey, it's about time you and I fight, and then he lets his coat fly away in the winter wastes, and he just starts hopping around and stretching. It's really beautiful.
So Broly's main move is to jump?
No, he doesn't jump.
Yeah, I would expect not. He has too much power.
He just gets angry and starts punching things.
Yeah.
Is Broly what you would call front-loaded?
Yes. But no, not the movie.
No, I mean Broly himself, given that he is all chest.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a fair assessment of his bod.
What if Broly had a evil clone who was all bottom? Just had a huge ass.
So it's just Chun-Li, is what you're saying.
Yes. Broly versus Chun-Li, dawn of crossover.
I'd watch.
Oh, good one. I'd be afraid.
Yeah, I would too, probably. Who would win?
Broly.
Are you sure Chun-Li wouldn't crush Broly with her thighs?
No.
I mean, only if Broly was, allowing it.
Oh.
He's very smart, so he probably could be.
The problem is I don't think Broly would have any, need for that.
Hold on. Is Broly in his base form, his Wrath form, his Super Saiyan form, or his legendary Super Saiyan form?
I don't know what any of that means.
Look, I'm pretty sure those thighs could just convince him out of any form.
It's like the electric collar, but faster.
Those are some nice thighs.
All right.
Remind me of my home planet.
All right. Well, that's what
he
watched
sounds
this
like,
week.
Swanson.
All right. I believe you, and I will not follow up on it.
Sorry, everyone.
Let's get into some news, huh?
Yes, please.
All right. The streaming wars. We've talked about them before, and it looks like they're on the horizon because Apple's streaming service could launch as early as April.
Okay, viewers at home, you can't see this, but I'm scowling intensely right now.
Wait a minute. Doesn't Apple already have a streaming service? Isn't that just the iTunes store?
Well, who uses that? And also, it doesn't really stream things.
Well, they could just put their original products on that instead.
Yeah, but you have to buy things separately on the iTunes store.
They need a totally new model.
Okay, what are they going to have on it?
Stuff? No, they apparently have plans for things, but if it's coming out in April, they don't have anything that's actually announced.
We got a lot of great ideas.
Like the Stephen Jobs show.
We got Happy Days.
Apple is planning to launch it in mid-April, but all they have currently are unnamed. One, the service is still unnamed, and two, all of their high-profile content is currently just in the works, quote-unquote.
Okay, can we name all the streaming services?
Netflix, Hulu, Apple,
Amazon,
Crackle.
CBS Stream Machines.
Yeah, CBS has a streams, boy.
HBO Go.
Does Crackle still exist? I think that's a thing still.
Yes, Showtime, whatever the fuck.
They have a streaming service? Oh, Starz has one too, yeah.
I wonder if, Epix, or whatever it's called, has one.
Yeah, let's say they do.
Okay.
There's,
let's just assume that.
There's Voodoo.
Oh, yeah. What does Crackle even have? And there was a Yahoo one that died.
Yeah, that one's been dead. Crackle used to have that Jerry Seinfeld show about getting in a car with coffee. But now that's on Netflix.
I used to have Spectrum calling me all the time telling me to get their streaming service.
Crunchyroll. I think there's more.
Doesn't Turner have one?
They used to. Or,
did we say,
yeah.
Did we say AMC yet? They had one.
They do? Oh, no.
Pretty sure they advertised one,
there's a horror one that I don't remember the name of, like Shudder or something like
Shudder.
that.
There's too many streaming services.
And the Walmart one.
Is that out? That's not out yet, though.
Oh.
But we did talk about it.
Yes.
Basically, going through the 20-some-odd episodes we've done of the show, you can find out that there are just a lot of streaming services that are planned or are already out.
Yes.
And this is just another on the large pile of them.
And we're going to subscribe to all of them.
Yes. There's apparently high-profile content from creators like Jennifer Aniston, M. Night Shyamalan, Damien Chazelle, and Steven Spielberg. But there's nothing actually concrete.
Okay, when was the last time you saw a Steven Spielberg movie?
Bridge of Spies.
Wow.
Never. So that was a couple years ago.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Oh, I guess I did see Ready Player One, half of it anyway, before I turned it off.
I just want to say, Sony's Crackle has Lupin the Third: Legend of Gold Babylon.
Wow.
In case anyone's interested.
That's a real get.
Is that like the Lupin the Third show that no one cared about, or
no? It was one of the movies, you idiot.
Oh, so no one cared about it still, which is why it's on
nobody cares
Crackle.
about. Nobody gives a shit about movies here at TV Tuners.
Well, yeah, we're TV tuners, not movie makers.
Television tuners.
Yeah, and they got The Exorcist 3.
Oh, the best one. Yeah, so look forward to this service that doesn't have a name and no shows coming as soon as April.
I'm hyped.
I can't wait to be dead by then.
All right, this is kind of a bizarre story. So let's see. So Starbucks, we all love it. We drink it consistently.
I drink a big cup of Starbucks every morning to get started on my day.
I guess I have some iced coffee that Starbucks brands sometimes.
Yeah, they released a really bizarre sort of, I guess you can call it an advertisement. I don't know. It's like a defense of the Iraq War.
What?
Wait, huh?
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. They come out and they're talking about their coffee or whatever, but then they're also saying that, like, you know, invading Iraq was okay because
okay.
Saddam was a tyrant.
How do you segue from coffee into the Iraq War was a good idea?
Well, there's like footage of coffee and like them, like, you know, like the baristas being like all happy and stuff, and then it shows like Saddam and like his statue falling.
Hold up. I just want to point out that coffee was discovered by the Arab world. So maybe that has something to do with it?
Huh. That's interesting because it's not really brought up. I mean, they don't really mention that point, I guess. They do say at one point that, like, Saddam never liked coffee.
I find that hard to believe.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true or not, but they said that as a point of, like, why we should have invaded.
Do they have any other points or just that one?
Well, they said it was good for business.
Are there Starbucks in Iraq?
No, maybe that's what the ad was about. I don't know. I didn't, like... At the end, it just kind of ends. They say, like... It ends with, like, a shot of Iraq now. But, like, I don't know if it actually is Iraq now, because it looked, like, you know, peaceful and serene. And then, like, randomly a shot of a lake, which I don't think exists in Iraq. And then that was it. It was, like, a stock shot of a lake. And then they were, like, Starbucks. The logo, like, showed up.
There's a Facebook page that says Starbucks Iraq, and it's located in Baghdad, Iraq, but it doesn't look very official.
Maybe it's just like a single person who gets Starbucks and, like, look, you gotta start small when you're starting.
Really wants to promote the idea of the Iraq War.
Oh yeah, that too. So did George W. Bush appear in this commercial?
No.
Yeah. They don't have like a stock shot of like him waving to a crowd or something.
Well, they do have him and like the Mission Accomplished banner, and they've like sneakily edited in a Starbucks cup right next to him, so like he was like drinking Starbucks. And by sneakily, I mean like I noticed it, so it's probably not that sneaky, but
I really wonder what their game is. This is like really freaky.
Yeah,
they want to invade Iraq again.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'd be concerned.
What,
if they, like,
drill for coffee?
Yes. There's tons of coffee beans unproduced in Iraq. I'd be more concerned if they like made a video about like Venezuela or something.
I'm pretty sure like 3/5 of all the cocoa on the planet comes from wait, I guess cocoa isn't made part of coffee. Never mind.
Yeah, it's different.
Sorry.
Anyway, it was just a little weird thing I thought we should talk about.
Yeah, well, that was really something. Do you have any other news?
Yeah, well, you know, based off of that, I thought we'd bring it down a little bit, you know. The Twilight Zone is being rebooted.
Oh?
By Jordan Peele, known from the sketch show Key and Peele, but also from the director of Get Out.
Ah, but for this you want to get in.
Yes.
Do you want to get into the Twilight Zone? I don't think.
No. I mean emotionally.
Oh, okay.
But the reboot is set to premiere on April 1st.
Wait, are we supposed to doubt that it's coming out?
Well, I mean, it is officially stated as coming out April 1st, but I mean, April 1st is notoriously known as the Fool's Holiday.
It's gonna be a prank. There's no new Twilight Zone.
Can you tell me more about this Fool's Holiday?
Well, it's a day where you're goofing on people the whole time. Like,
that seems very mean-spirited and inconvenient.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know why it's a day that's, like, celebrated or notable, but it is.
What, you guys don't like pranks?
If it's not the Twilight Zone, what would you like the prank to be?
It's actually an early release of his new movie.
I'm hoping it's just a documentary on helicopter safety.
Is it still by Jordan Peele?
Yes.
Okay.
Where he's the pilot who's making all the mistakes?
Yes.
Oh, no! Yes!
Oh, man, I hope he has an interview with, I don't remember his name. You know, the guy who killed those kids. Indirectly.
John Wayne Gacy.
No, because from the Twilight Zone movie. The director.
Nobody remembers him.
He's very famous.
He's
Hollywood buried him. Oh, not Max Landis.
Max Landis' dad, John,
yes.
like John
Dad,
Landis or something. Daddy
John
Landis.
Candy.
He's
John
Dad.
Candy.
Daddy Landis. He gets Daddy Landis in to like interview him.
Ted Landis.
Ted Landis, is that what you said?
Yes.
It's not his name. I think it's John. I do actually think it's John Landis.
How's that guy like not just constant guilt?
I mean, maybe he is, but he doesn't talk about it, so.
What if he interviews him and he's proud of it?
He's just like, that's right, I killed those kids and that actor. It was all my gross negligence.
It was me, Vince.
Oh, son of a bitch. Anyway. So yeah, The Twilight Zone is officially debuting on April 1st with 2 episodes.
Wow, that's good.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Well, maybe you won't see it because it is on CBS All Access, so.
Wow.
The streaming service that no one wants and no one asked for. But still keeps churning out content.
Is this our lives now? We're just going to be reviewing all the flagpole streaming shows?
Yeah, I guess, but I mean, CBS All Access isn't a flagpole streaming service.
No, I meant it's the flagpole.
Oh.
You idiot. You dummy.
Well, you said it wrong. Bad boy. That's right. I called Stare a bad boy, but negatively.
Oh, speaking of which, Bad Boys 3. Y'all looking forward to that?
I heard that's going to be on CBS All Access, too.
Oh, no!
They're really gobbling up all of it, all the competition.
Red didn't deserve that.
Yeah, Will Smith said he'd only do it if it was on CBS All Access, his favorite streaming service. All right.
Do rich people even subscribe to streaming services?
No.
Like the
ultra-rich? They just get them for free.
No, I mean, do they even partake?
No, they pirate.
No. Like, yeah, they just have their assistant bring them, like, the shady Chinatown DVDs.
Will Smith probably gets screeners of everything that's ever been made.
Yeah. Including Dragon Ball Super Broly.
Yeah, he probably saw it before, like, it was released.
He's probably the one who leaked it to the internet.
All of the leaks that you think, that you wonder how they could have gotten out so quickly, it's Will Smith.
Yeah, they can't prosecute him because he's Will Smith.
Yeah. He's been unprosecutable ever since the case of Jiggy versus With It.
Important precedents were set.
Yes.
Like the parents just don't get it principle.
I'm never going to forget the day the Supreme Court ruled on that.
Yeah, it was a very important day.
They were dancing to the song.
And money was literally falling from the ceiling. And it had Will Smith's face on it.
I mean, how are we supposed to trust our judicial system after that?
Yeah. That's the worst thing that's happened in the last decade.
Antonin Scalia literally got up and said, a jigga jigga jig wah. That's not even from the song.
And that giant mechanical spider came out of nowhere.
Yeah, that was weird.
Okay. What were we talking about?
Nothing.
Skin.
Skin?
That's
All
right.
All right, it's time for us to get back to a segment that's loved by all. It's Kiorain's Crackdown. Hit the theme.
Which one of us is supposed to hit the theme?
You. Oh,
Okay, we've got a serious problem, and I can hardly talk about it. I'm like shaking with rage right now.
You have to.
All right, well, take your time.
I guess we can move on to the next segment if you don't want to talk about it.
No, take your time, but talk about it quickly.
Okay, I ordered a 5-cheese sandwich. Okay,
Okay. From
I
where?
got. Doesn't really matter where I got it from, Stairmaster.
Well, it is kind of important.
All right.
Well, let's see what the problem is first.
Okay, I went to Jimmy John's.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
Ordered a 5-cheese sandwich. Okay.
The classic Jimmy John's 5-cheese sandwich, yeah.
How many seconds did it take you to get that sandwich?
It took me 493 seconds to get my sandwich.
Whoa!
For starters. Which was ridiculous.
That's surprisingly slow for Jimmy John's, the fastest sandwich company.
That's almost 8 minutes.
Wow, you could hear the gears turning. Incredible.
It's hard when you're under podcast.
All right, listen. I got my sandwich, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, how many cheeses did I order on that sandwich?
Let me count.
4?
5.
Stairmaster, that's the exact mistake they made at the restaurant. They put 4 cheeses on my 5-cheese sandwich. I could taste
What
4
cheeses?
distinct cheeses, not 5.
What cheeses?
So wait, did you take this up with the monitor?
The monitor?
I mean, the manager. Oh God.
Sorry, I'm raging.
Keo, stop! Oh, you just flipped the table!
Oh dear God, this is not how I expected things to go. I expected him to answer questions about the situation.
Keo, put that TV down!
It's not tuned!
Alright, listen. It had cheddar,
Okay.
That's 1.
pepper jack,
2.
Wait, hold on. These are separate types of cheeses you asked for?
Swiss,
Well, no, these are the cheeses he could taste. 3.
mozzarella.
Wow, that is only 4.
But, so it's not just 4 slices of the same type of cheese?
No, a 5-cheese sandwich means you put 5 different types of cheeses on the sandwich.
Yeah, hold up. Keo, your problem is very, very important, and I do want to talk about this for a second. But let's break this down for a second. Stare.
Yeah?
When you heard like 4-cheese pasta and like you see that on like a menu, did you just think it was 4 slices of cheese thrown on some pasta?
That's the first time I've ever heard of 4 cheese pasta.
This is incredible.
Okay, what do I do about this? What do I do? What do I do?
What do I do about this?
All right. I'll tell you what you do, Kiorein, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, do you have the receipt?
Yeah.
All right.
Does it say 4 or 5 on there?
It says 5-cheese
Okay,
sandwich.
then you can go complain to the manager.
You go back in there, you ask for the monitor, and you tell
Manager?
them... Huh? What did I say?
Nothing.
Okay.
I did ask for the manager.
What happened?
He was like this really Brooklyn-sounding guy.
Oh. Oh
And-
no.
Wait, hold on. Was his name Jimmy John?
Did he speak really fast?
I mean, he spoke at a moderate pace. I don't know what his name was, but he was like, hey, we put 5 cheeses on that sandwich.
Oh, that's fairly slow, I think.
Yeah, that's very slow.
From how you're telling it.
Was he talking that slow?
No, you're talking a little faster than that.
Okay.
So basically, he claimed to have put 5 cheeses on the sandwich. And he wasn't even the one making it, so I have no idea how he made this. He didn't look at the sandwich. And he assured me that there were 5 cheeses on it, but there's no way. There's no way.
All right, okay, hold on. How about this? Okay, you go back in there. He has to see the manager. When the manager comes out, you say, No. I want to talk to Jimmy John.
Jimmy John himself?
Is he even alive?
Oh, he's alive. And you
talking to him right now?
Well, no. I mean, Keo's gonna have to talk to him.
At my location?
Yes, you have to request personally that Jimmy John deal with this issue because this manager isn't going to handle this problem.
And consider just leaving an angry review on Yelp.
I left like 5 of those.
Oh.
Oh yeah, on different accounts. Nice.
Different accounts with, slightly different names and pretending to be different people. Yeah.
But all the same problem.
Kiorein. Kiorein.
Yeah, exactly.
Kiorein.
Dio?
Kiorein?
Yeah, so I think that's going to work, Swanson. I'm going to talk to Jimmy John himself, and I'm going to solve this. Thank you.
Anytime, pal. All right, well, that's been Kiorein's Crackdown. Let's move on to another segment that is equally beloved and cherished.
Factor opinion?
It's the Stairmaster Minute.
Oh.
All right, Stairmaster, what you got?
Okay, so last night I had this dream. I was on the eastern coast of Russia. And I was standing in line for this bathroom. And this guy cut me. And I was like, no, I was here first. And he's like, fuck you, and went into the bathroom. So I got into a fight with him. I was punching him in the face, but he was just no-selling it. And he sat down in the toilet and started peeing, and it got on my leg. And I kept punching him, but it had no effect. Also, I think there's a McDonald's nearby. I can't be sure. Why do I keep having dreams like this? I'm sorry, guys. That got too heavy.
Wow, Stairmaster, thanks for that sharing. That was
what
we would call a transcendent experience.
I'm sorry.
I do have one question. I normally don't follow this up with a question, but I couldn't help myself. Why was the guy sitting down to pee?
That's how they do it in Russia.
Maybe he was also pooping. We'll never know.
So hold on. This guy beat you up and then sat down to pee?
No, he didn't beat me up. I was just punching him.
Oh, but he sat down to pee anyway?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it was a defiant act. I get it.
No, it wasn't even defiant because he was just ignoring my punches. They had no effect on him.
Well, if he was sitting down to pee, he would have to be looking at you, so...
Yeah. I know, I get the impression he was ignoring me.
Dreams are weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's been the Stairmaster Minute.
Never again.
A very edifying installment. Alright, it's time for one more segment before we move on to our main event. It's Trailer Blazers! Hit the theme, Kiorein.
Ba-da-da, 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 ba-da-da.
What?
Wow. A very new metal theme.
For a very new metal of shows.
Yeah, for the most new metal of shows. We watched the trailer for Season 6 of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Featuring music by Korn. And Avenged Sevenfold.
I would laugh my ass off if this trailer started showing action scenes from the show and I was just like, oh, Anyway, someone apparently did get down with the sickness because Agent Coulson's dead?
Oh, but he's isn't he already dead? Wasn't he a robot?
Yeah, he was brought back to life via some program, so he wasn't technically a robot. He was just His brain got fucked by a robot.
A real Ted Bundy situation.
Sure.
I really have no idea what's going on in this show whatsoever.
You mean TV tuners?
Yes.
Well, that's why we have the previously on segment. So, yeah, there's this guy, this like big guy. He's like listening to a briefing from Coulson, and he walks right through him because he's a hologram.
Whoa, that's rude.
And then we like learn that as big bold letters tell us on the screen, we learn that Agent Coulson is dead.
Rest in peace.
We see him and
Glad they made that clear though, because I wouldn't have known.
Yeah, we see him and the Asian lady from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I guess they're all Asian in that.
You're not wrong.
We see I don't remember her name, Ming Na Wen,
No,
something
don't
like that.
guess it. What's that lady be named Lu Ban or something?
Well, she's
completely unrelated.
I think her name is Ming. Anyway, she's hanging out on a very fake ass beach with Coulson, which may or may not be on purpose. I'm gonna say it wasn't because I want to make fun of the show.
So they couldn't find a beach to film on, so they made one.
They just made the fakest ass beach.
No, they don't have beaches in Canada or wherever they shoot this.
Yeah. And then we find out some other dude is frozen in space, and this lady seems distraught about that. And then we get some action scenes, some very bland action scenes.
I guess they're being gun people, but in space?
Yeah, I guess they're in space. Maybe that's why he needed that fake beach. Because he couldn't die on a real beach.
Yeah.
There are no beaches in space.
Yes.
There's beaches on the moon, actually.
Maybe they're in the memory palace. Maybe they're in the dildo chamber.
Oh.
From Night Flyers.
They're in my favorite Sonic CD zone, Dildo Delusions.
Oh, man. Imagine what that bad future would be like.
Yeah,
they're vibrating at too high a frequency.
Oh, no.
Sonic takes damage when he touches them.
The ultimate Robotnik trick.
I think Sonic would just leave immediately.
There's giant dragon molds. That'll crush you.
This is clearly not something that Robotnik could come up with, though, because I don't think he knows what a dildo is.
I don't think that Robotnik built any of the levels in Sonic CD besides Metallic Madness. Not even Metallic Madness. I think he just appropriated them for its own use.
Is Robotnik asexual?
Yes.
No,
he's robosexual.
I'm sure we built an android girlfriend.
We don't see one. Wouldn't we have seen it by now?
Yeah, he probably would have had it. He probably would have gloated to Sonic about it.
You think he keeps his android girlfriend where Sonic keeps jumping on things 8 times and blowing them all up?
I mean, in
Sonic I have a girlfriend and you don't!
In Sonic Adventure, Robotnik has robot maids, but they're not sexy at all. They're just, cleaning.
It's true, and Sonic doesn't jump on those.
Yeah.
Well, actually, he does, I think.
I mean, you can jump on them, but you slide off of them. They're not, enemies.
Yeah, because they're in the adventure zones.
We can't talk about that.
We gotta talk about the adventure zones.
Nope.
Bring them back.
We can't talk about the adventure zones. It's copyrighted.
Oh, no!
Uh,
Not a second, let them get away with that.
There should have been a lawsuit. There should have been legal blood on the floor.
Ink?
Legal,
yes,
no, legal
ink.
blood.
Printer toner?
As you can tell, we're really invested in the continuing adventures of Coulson, who is still alive at the end of this trailer.
Who?
In a shocking twist, he's still alive, but he don't know nothing.
Maybe he's from an alternate universe. Maybe he's from the Spider-Verse.
He probably got his brain messed with or something.
Maybe he is a Spider-Man.
Oh, that'd be cool. He starts doing spider stuff.
Yeah, Spider-Man.
Like laying eggs.
That's just a balding, middle-aged man. White man.
He just starts doing... He calls himself Spider-Man, but he just starts doing spider things, like carrying eggs on his back and...
Crawling into a corner and making a web and killing hundreds of ants.
Yeah.
Oh, man, imagine a human spider serial killer. That would be terrible.
You made Keo imagine it. Now he's frightened.
Sorry.
All right. That's been Trailer Blazers.
Yeah, tune out.
Tune out on that trailer. Let's move on to our main event of the evening. Ding, ding, ding.
This would have benefited from some new metal, I think.
Well, I guess, except that the timeline doesn't fit. But we watched Deadly Class, SyFy's new show based off of a comic book by popular comic writer Rick Remender, which is a great name, by the way. Wow.
I thought we could say Mark, what's his name?
Evan Jackson.
Mark Evans Jackson.
No. That's not a part. No. What, Mark Miller?
Yes, maybe?
That's the guy who did, the guy who did Kick-Ass and all those bad...
Yeah, yes, that's who I'm thinking of.
The guy who did Old Man Logan.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is...
not to be confused with the good film.
Yes, not to be confused with the good film, which is just called Logan.
Did you ever read Old Man Logan?
Yeah, it's terrible.
Everyone dies except for Logan.
It's garbage. It's a bad...
And for some reason, it's like a white trash Hulk family.
That's the product of incest.
I mean, and Wolverine murders them and steals their baby.
Why? Because he can, I guess. Well, technically, I think it's because they murder his family, but still.
Yeah.
That's a good excuse.
What a stupid comic.
Yeah. I don't know if this comic that this show's based on is stupid, but this show's something. So, this is like pretty much if Hogwarts were assassins.
But they're not ninjas.
I mean,
there
isn't really a ninja in this, I guess.
No, considering that this is set in the 80s, it would have made sense for them to be ninjas.
Yeah, this is...
like, the cinema trend, fad.
Yeah. This is, I guess, set in the 80s. Well, I was going to say inexplicably, but there is sort of a reason for why it's set in the 80s. But this is set in the late 80s, 87 to be exact.
Our favorite year.
My favorite year of the 80s. Remember
right after Super Mario Bros. Came out. And Dragon Ball.
Oh, man, maybe that's the reason. Anyway, we get this kid, and he's in a class, and he's being taught, and this girl passes him a note.
And then not Ken Watanabe gets really mad.
Yeah, this is Wong from Doctor Strange.
It's like, well, I guess that's good for him.
Whose real name is Benedict Wong.
Wait, the character or the actor?
The actor. So that means, one, that he's playing a character named Wong, but also that he's sharing the screen with a guy named Benedict.
What?
It's pretty crazy, man. It freaks my bean.
That's a lot of coincidence.
It wiggles my Wongus.
Oh, no.
Anyway, Benedict Wong, the teacher, smacks the girl in the nose with his cane. Because
and she bleeds.
Yeah, and she bleeds. But it's okay because she's into it.
She's showing up to look cool.
Yeah. I imagine this opening sequence is kind of like every teacher's dream.
That they can hit their children?
They can hit their students.
If you're a teacher...
Yeah, teachers, they just hate the kids.
Yeah. Let us know how many violent fantasies you have about your students.
Yeah, use the hashtag Sweet Dreams.
Are made of these.
Anyway, so we get an opening narration of this kid who's an orphan, I guess. He's living out on the streets and he's narrating about stuff. I don't know.
He's like, I've been having a bad time.
Yeah.
My wife just left me.
Are these the streets of New York?
No.
L.A.?
No.
Does he say where he lives?
I don't know.
I don't think it's L.A.
I think it's just a city.
I think it's New York.
No, it's not New York.
Don't they go to Chinatown?
If it was New York... You know, Swanson, New York isn't the only city with a Chinatown, right?
I know, but like New York is the primary city where a Chinatown would be located.
No, San Francisco is.
Oh, maybe he's in San Francisco.
No, I think we would know if it was. There would be an establishing shot of the Golden Gate Bridge at some point.
Well, there's no establishing shots of anything in this, other than homeless people.
They're just in the city.
Yeah.
The city where Walt Whitman shot all those people?
What?
Dallas. Maybe it's Dallas because that one building looks like.
Oh, it's San Francisco.
Tower. Oh. Okay. Bye.
Case closed.
So yeah, I guess there was right the most popular Chinatown. Anyway, so he just randomly starts smoking a marijuana cigarette. And
this was a fun scene, actually.
Well, where Spooky Reagan shows up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was fun.
Yeah, but they should have stuck with that, like gone full survival horror.
They should have just like stuck with the weird thing that they had going on in like the first half of this show. And instead of like, I don't know what happens in the second half of the show, really.
Okay, what do you mean the first?
Like when they start when they do the Spooky Reagan thing, and then later they do like the animated origin story. Just like the weird tone, like the weird like shifts in style is fun.
Okay, you're right. It feels like two separate TV shows in terms of direct. Maybe they had to switch out directors.
Only one dude's credited for directing this.
The other one was silently executed.
A guy named Lee Toland Krieger, who's done nothing that I've heard of, but he does look handsome, generically handsome,
just like Ted Bundy.
Yeah. He's got long, wavy locks, unlike Ted Bundy.
Well, you know, if he'd gone on long enough, he would have probably tried to go for that.
Yeah, you're
He's like constantly changing his hairstyle.
He's apparently... Oh, he's directed episodes of a previous show on the podcast, Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, I guess I can see that.
I mean, these shows are similarly lit. Very dim.
That's true. And he also did episodes of Riverdale, which is like Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, but more interesting.
It feels like everything was nighttime on this show. Even the daytime scenes.
Yeah, everything... Okay. Yeah, that's true.
I've got one complaint about this show that kind of sticks out to me. I want to see if you guys agree. That this show, to me, did a really bad job of suspending my disbelief.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like a product of having low emotional investment in the first place, I think.
So this is for sure a show where you cannot overthink anything that happens in it, because the moment you do, it falls apart.
I mean, It's just every part of it, it almost seemed like they want it to be where you don't suspend your disbelief.
Because they got, like, later as we see, there's students from the cartel and the FBI.
Yes.
Attending in the same classroom. It's like, who is this organization for?
And how is it existing? Like,
yeah, because we'll get back to this. I think we'll rope back around, but I want to talk about the introduction to these other characters. These collection
teens with attitude.
This collection of '80s teen archetypes,
which is fun, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like '80s. They're like, what if we took like the Breakfast Club and gave them weapons?
Yeah. Yes, they should have gone full hog with that concept.
But also,
I don't think they stretched it long enough.
But also, because this isn't actually the '80s, we can make it like a diverse group of teens who are still stereotypes, sort of. Anyway,
nobody on the show has nunchucks. That's a big problem.
Well, you can't kill people with nunchucks.
Yeah, you can. They're blunt objects.
Come on. Jeez.
Fake.
Why kill
weapon.
people with nunchucks when you can have fans that have blades on them?
Well, they're both fun. You can have both. It's a 50-minute program.
Who was your favorite of these teen archetypes?
Well, probably the black guy, since he got the most dialogue.
Yeah, but he doesn't have a cool weapon.
Well, he has a gun.
That De La Muertes lady had freaking blades, and she cut a cop. She straight up, I think, kills a cop.
No, I think she did. Yeah, I think she might have sliced his arteries.
Yeah, at the very least, she maims him.
I just appreciate the black guy who goes from pointing a gun in somebody's face for no reason to being a pacifist in the span of 10 minutes.
Excuse me, Kiorein. He pointed a gun at his face because he said that indie comics were better than superhero comics. Thank you.
Would you threaten someone for that?
Yes, the Dark Phoenix saga is very good.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what it's like to be in that headspace because I'm a stupid white boy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how I would react if I had a white guy telling me that indie comics were better than X-Men.
I mean, for someone who's living that life, getting invested in art might be a thing. Who knows?
But he wasn't even angry. He pointed the gun and was smiling.
Yeah, he was joking around with a gun.
Yeah, I guess that would... Yeah, that is kind of clash with this characterization.
So, speaking of animation or appreciating art... We get this animated origin story, which is very weird. I kind of like it because this is the part of the show where I was like, all right.
I was like off-putting, but I feel like, yeah, if you want to tell that story, that's how you do it.
Yeah, because you can't show it in live action because then it's just ridiculous.
Yes.
So, do we want to break down how this origin story apparently happens? It's not quite Batman, but I mean, it'll do, I guess.
Okay, so this dad is like, hey, son, have you considered not being depressed?
Good.
God's plan.
A good dad
God's
talk.
God's plan, my dude. And then he walks off with his bimbo wife.
Mm-hmm.
And he monologues about how Reagan shut down like half the mental hospitals in the country. And a schizophrenic lady jumps off a clock tower and lands on him.
Okay, so that's the last part. The last part's the part that's, I think, odd to me.
Odd?
Yes.
A lady jumped off a clock tower and landed on them, and that was the death?
That's a pretty big coincidence.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's why it's so tragic. It's just...
so random.
Yeah.
Does he talk at all about being in, like, foster care or anything?
He mentions the sweatshop.
Okay, yeah. And then, yeah, he runs afoul of the police because he burnt down... Oh, yeah, that's right. He wasn't...
Yes.
He was in an orphanage and he burnt it down.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. We find out later he did not. But yeah, he gets a sort of reputation among the people, quote unquote, question mark. I don't know. These people, these assassins find him, and Benedict...
They call him Firefly.
And Benedict
He's
Wong...
got all of Gotham afraid.
These assassins find him, and Benedict Wong is like, I would like you to join my school. I am evil? And he's like, nah.
True neutral. He's like true neutral right now.
He's like, I am a mysterious figure with unknown intentions. Join me.
And unknown abilities because all I did is hit a lady in the face with a cane.
That's true. Don't worry. If you're wondering about my tragic backstory, I will explain it at the end of this episode.
Also, he teaches a class titled Black Arts, but is there going to be magic on the show? We don't really get any explanation what that class is about.
No, Black Arts just means murder.
But what's the martial arts and the poison class for then?
Murder as well. Everything's
Also,
murder.
Everything is murder. That should be the name of the show. Everything is murder.
Murder 101.
But he gives like some reasoning for why he should join. He's like, nah.
He's like, that's weird, bro. I'm outie.
And then they slit his throat so the secret doesn't get out.
No, instead they just let him go. And he has like a weird confrontation with this is before, but he has a weird confrontation with like a homeless guy who is
like terrorizes him all the time and takes his stuff.
A bully, but also clearly mentally unstable.
And also killed people.
Yeah.
Is that the only place in the whole city for you to go if you're homeless?
Yeah,
it's wanted by the police. Yeah,
it's homeless It's homeless town, USA. You can't go anywhere else. Anyway, he that comes back later, and yeah, we get like a thing where
you get a thing.
he does eventually.
He's going to try and kill himself at the same tower that crazy lady killed his parents from.
Yeah, and then I don't remember her name.
Japanese woman.
Yeah, the lady with the katana.
She talks him out of it by offering coochie.
By kissing him, yeah.
And he's like, I don't want to die anymore.
And much like the De La Muertes lady that we meet, these are two very well drawn and intelligent female characters
who manipulate men with the promises of sex.
Mm-hmm. Also manipulate the same man.
Yeah,
it's almost like he's a big dummy.
Well, to be fair, he didn't go to school.
Well, that's what he's doing now.
He shouldn't even know how to read, to be honest. I don't think.
He was like 8 when his parents died. He should know how to read.
It's ambiguous how old he was.
He was definitely old enough to read.
I guess if you're old enough to be depressed, you're old enough to be...
To read? Yeah, you have to read what's on the bottle of your pills.
You have to read sad stuff to get depressed. That's just how it works.
Yeah, that's true. That's why if you don't know how to read, you never get depressed.
Yep.
Books can take you to a completely different world.
So yeah, so he eventually goes to this school, and man, they make sure they can jam as much alternative 80s music into this as they can. It feels like every other second they were like every scene starts with a new 80s song playing. They got I'm thinking specifically of right when he's getting ready for his first day at this class, and they're playing Echo and the Bunnymen. And it's every 80s. It feels like I'm watching Donnie Darko again.
There's one that's really worse coming up later, but
so yeah, we see him trying to interact with the katana girl, and she's all like, "I'm with my clique now. No, thank you."
She's from the Katana gang. They rule over the city.
Yeah, she's from a syndicate of some sort. So basically, the premise of this show, or at least the premise of this portion of the show, as we find out later, is that there are, as there are in high schools, cliques. It's just that these cliques are gangs.
So it's like prison.
It's like, yes, it's
kind of
like
you can
prison.
Leave.
Question mark.
I mean, you can physically leave. You see him do it.
Oh, yeah. I guess you could leave. But also you might get murdered. I don't know. So anyway, the question I have is that the Benedict Wong is teaching this dark arts class, and his homework is to have his students go murder someone?
Yeah.
How is he just... So he's just having his students go around the city and kill people?
I assume that, besides the main character, this is, the middle of the semester for everyone else. So they actually know how to hide evidence.
Still, it's kind of
Well, to be fair, Swanson, this is 1987. Forensics was still around the corner.
It's still ridiculous. So then we get a martial arts class where he and the De La Muertes lady have foreplay training. And
the skateboard kid said some homophobic stuff to the Russian.
Oh, yeah, and then the Russian guy breaks his arm.
Well, were we supposed to root for the homophobic kid?
He's a friendly punk rocker. Of course we were.
But he also seems like a psychopath.
He's the hero of this story. He's a helping friend.
Well, it seems like everyone who's in the school is a psychopath, or Stairmaster. It's a school for assassins. Also, we find out that the lady who got her nose broken in was a racist lady from the South, I guess. She's a Nazi.
Yep.
So she deserved it. And she doesn't...
She's like Chelsea Clinton or something. I guess you would be a little too young for 1987.
Yes. She doesn't really do anything other than be a Nazi.
That's a strong character trait.
Yeah. I do notice, I don't know if you guys noticed this, so he gets into trouble with the leader of
Chico.
Yes, Chico.
No, not Chico.
Yeah, his name is actually Chico. Stair thought he was being racist, but no. His name is Chico. The man is nowhere to be found, but Chico is here. Yeah, he gets in trouble with Chico, who is like
the head of the syndicate, the cartel.
Yeah, and all anyone can say about Chico when he brings it up is, "Oh, that guy's crazy. That guy's wild."
The terrifying figure known as Boy.
Oh man, do you think he's like related to the guys on Narcos season 4?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you asking me if I think he's related to the
Felix Miguel? Fuck.
Yeah. Are you asking me if I think he's like part of a Mexican
a specific
cartel?
a real one?
Yes. Yes.
Or do you think the Raiders are just like, ooh, Mexican gang?
Alright, so here's what I'm wondering though. So the guy who runs the school claims that he's running the school like to raise people out of like oppression, but half the people at the school are like
rich
and gang members.
Yeah, they're either rich people or like people who are being trained to be hired hitmen. So yeah,
maybe I misheard it. Maybe he just brought the one guy in for that purpose, but otherwise, it's not.
I don't know, because Billy, who is the punk kid, the one who isn't a Chad, says that Chav, sorry. Yeah, he's not a Chad either, to be fair. He says that he is not like these other people. Like, he specifically notes that he and Marcus are underdogs.
They don't have legacies.
Yes.
Or they're not part of a legacy.
So I guess he's sort of just mixing and matching. The master's like the Benedict Wong is just picking whoever.
It's like an affirmative action thing.
Some of these people, some of these people are going to be heroes, but most of them are just going to be criminals. This is going to be a good school,
like the CIA guys.
Yeah, like some of these people are just going to oppress poor people, and some of them will just murder them. All right. So yeah, he gets in trouble with Chico, and he's like trying to figure out what to do, and they have like a little montage of him looking around the school, and they show it off like real obviously. So I don't know if you guys caught this, but they say they have a rifle that belongs to Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah.
And it says class of 57 on it, and that made me laugh. I think that was supposed to be a joke, so I thought it was...
He seems like a very bad student if he got caught, though.
Yeah, he didn't follow the teachings very well.
And they just keep the evidence that he was involved just on campus?
Well, yeah, who's going to show up there? The cops don't show up there. It's behind like a deli shop in Chinatown.
You need a magic train to get there.
As we all know, elements of the United States government were involved in his assassination. So...
Yeah, true. Also, he graduated in 57 and it took him that long?
I think he did other stuff, considering he went to the USSR.
Okay, what if...
there for several years.
What if Wong reveals he was the man on the grassy knoll?
Hold on, that might actually happen. Don't say that.
Yeah. So then Henry Rollins is here as the teacher of poisons.
Oh, I thought I recognized him.
Yeah. And he's doing a thing. So we get this Russian kid. He finally gets a line or two. And
he gets poisoned with laxatives.
Yeah. This is like an Adam Sandler joke.
It is!
Like, so the punk kid gets his revenge by having his goth friend help him lace the Russian guy's drink with poison. He's drinking a Coke, which I think is funny because he's Russian.
Yes, Russia was famously, they let in Pepsi instead of Coke during the Cold War. Yeah. Meanwhile, China became a Coke haven.
That is, like, so weird.
Yeah, there's a documentary about this, the Cola Wars or the Soda Wars.
Yeah, wait, hold on. It was me and you, Kiorein, that were reading about Crystal Pepsi, and we found out the Russians drank it at one point during a press conference.
Because they wanted to look like vodka?
Yeah.
Yeah, the USSR let Pepsi in and didn't let Coca-Cola in. Meanwhile, China did the opposite. There's a little conflict between them. Crystal
Pepsi is noted for being one of the increasing factors in the fall of the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
So Henry Rollins does an admirable job, I guess, when he has to tell someone to sit down in their own shit.
You're teaching him a lesson.
Yeah, and we get like comical fart noises here, where it's just like, as the Russian.
What is this show?
We're watching all of a sudden. At one point, I'm watching like an animation of a crazy person falling on top of two people and murdering them, and then I'm watching a Russian man shit himself.
I feel like we jumped genre somewhere. I'm not really sure.
So then Billy introduces Marcus to his friends, Goth Chick and Fake Johnny Rotten.
And I laugh at him because he says he wants to kill Reagan, and maybe he will at the end of the season, or maybe season 2.
Yeah, he says that he plans on killing Reagan, which...
Yeah, that's not going to happen this season.
Arguably, judging by history, won't happen.
Maybe he's John Hinckley Jr.
Well, that already happened, and it happened in 83.
Oh, you're right.
Which maybe was also why they're laughing at him. They're like, someone already tried that, loser.
He's unkillable by conventional means.
He's gotten too strong.
The best of the best made an attempt and they failed. What makes you think you can do it?
Beans today, mommy.
Oh no! After each brush of death, he comes back even stronger.
That's right. Replaced my heart with an energy vortex.
What?
I'm all powerful now, mommy.
Okay.
Fake Johnny Rotten tells him that there's no way he's gonna win against Chico because Chico's crazy, all that stuff. This guy's fun because he's British and a chav. So
hold on, this is America. Why can't he just buy a gun and shoot Chico?
Cuz.
There's a lot of questions to be asked about that whole conflict with Chico.
That's not fair, Stairmaster.
Why do they give these students weapons?
Also, it was America in the 80s, so it was technically a little harder to buy a gun.
I don't know. They did have the phrase Saturday Night Special for a reason.
I guess he didn't have any money, though. He was eating hamburgers out of trash cans.
Garbage sandwich.
That's what they call it. On the streets. Anyway, so he's walking down the streets for some reason, and he gets.
This is right after he gives up forever and leaves.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's planning on leaving the school before he can get murdered by Chico. So instead, what happens is he gets asked to get in a car with the black kid, who also is part of a gang called the First World. Is it the First or Final?
Last World, I think.
No, it's definitely FWO, but I can't remember. He's part of the NWO, and
yes. He's part of the Wolf Pack.
I don't remember this kid's name, like Willie or something.
Mark Henry, the world's strongest man.
Yeah, Mark Henry is there, and he gets in a car with Mark. And
apparently they're lab partners on the murder assignment, so he has to help him murder the homeless guy.
Oh yeah. And they're talking in the car and bonding, and he talks about how there are ladies that he wants to do it with. I guess he mentions the Nazi lady, and he's like, "Oh, are you guys a couple?" And he has the best line of the entire episode. He's like, "No, man, she's a Nazi. That ain't girlfriend material." Which true.
It's true.
Yeah. It do be like that. Look at him. He nodded because he know.
Keo, well, I guess Stairmaster can answer this question too, but I think I'm more interested in Keo's perspective. Was this character okay, or was he a little much?
not sure.
I think he was a bit much.
Because at first I thought it was like definitely part of like the deal where he was like talking like that on purpose. But then once he reveals that he's like a pacifist, he still talks like that.
Yeah, he's definitely just a stereotype.
Yeah, but to be fair, he is a comic book character.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Maybe. I don't know.
But then we get the comic book show talking about comics for a little bit.
Yeah, we get the Nerdist.
Yeah, Chris Hardwick shows up and says and makes you try to forget that he has sexual assault allegations.
Oh, no.
And then, yeah, he turns out to be a pacifist when he can't shoot the homeless guy.
And for some reason doesn't hand the gun to the other guy.
He throws it away.
Yeah, he just throws it. He's like, no guns.
Yeah, we don't get an explanation as to why he's in a murder school as a pacifist.
We do, actually.
His mom wants him to be the big
We do?
It's a half-assed explanation, but it is an explanation.
His mom wants him to be the big show.
Well...
Yeah, that's not an explanation.
That's beautiful.
Wow. Thanks, there.
Like, it didn't say his mom made him. It just said, like, oh, yeah, she wanted him to do something, and he...
So he joined the murder school, I guess? That begs the question, like, can you just join?
How do you find this murder school?
Yeah. It sounds like they find you, but, like, these people just join it. So, like, A, is Benedict Wong recruiting, but also just accepting applications?
How come it's only Americans? Oh, wait, no, there's a... Yeah, it's only Americans.
No, it's not. It's distinctly not only Americans.
No. Maybe
there's Russians, there's
one Russian, but he could be an immigrant.
With that accent, I guess, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Because if it was international, there would be more than one Russian, you'd think, in 1987.
Well, there's a whole bunch of like Mexican people. There's a whole gang of them.
Yeah, but they could be Mexicans who live in the United States. Mexican Americans, if you will.
I guess, but like a lot of them were speaking with accents.
Just like Mexican Americans in the United States.
It is really not clear what this organization is at all. They don't explain it.
I don't know, Stairmaster.
It's like a religious order or something because they had a guy with a robe on, but...
I don't know, Stairmaster. Mexicans living in San Francisco in 1987? Huh. Think again.
Yeah.
That's actually probably more likely than it would be now. Yeah, it turns out he's a pacifist, and then his friend Marcus kills the homeless guy anyway.
With a stick?
No, with a screwdriver. And yeah, it was the screwdriver that the guy used to kill other people.
And then they burn his body in a dumpster, and Elegia plays, and that was the thing that was too much for me.
Burning his body? Did they actually say it was an elegy?
No.
I thought they just put it in a dumpster because that's where you put a body if you don't know where to put it.
The song Elegia plays, from the Metal Gear Solid trailer and Stranger Things.
Okay, well that would be the more... you led with the thing I wouldn't know it from.
Oh. Sorry, some of us are cultured here, Swanson.
Yeah, Stair knows all the things, like Metal Gear Solid, and...
Also, it's in that one movie, I guess.
But yeah, and then, yeah, they complete their assignment, I guess. Although, do they have proof?
They have his favorite screwdriver.
Or no, he does kill him with a plank of wood. I think that's the proof.
I guess.
I don't know. So they have to bring the murder weapon back?
And then I guess they go party in the graveyard and the episode's over?
Well, we get a confrontation with this lady, the Daily Mortis lady, where she's like, because earlier she fakes a black eye.
Yeah, to get him to go punch Chico.
Yeah. And
presumably she hoped he would kill him in one punch.
He is unfortunately not One Punch Man. And he has a confrontation with Chico where like he dares him to kill him, and Chico doesn't do it because he's a coward boy.
Yeah.
And also Benedict Wong shows up and he's like, we're just good pals.
And then they kiss.
Yeah. And
that was hot.
How great would it have been if they did just kiss? He was like, "Do it, kill me," and then he just lays one on him.
Well, there's a few episodes left in the season. Who knows?
Yeah. So this character reveals that she tricked him, and boy howdy, is this character like dire.
She's like, "Yeah, I tricked you. Now let's kiss."
It's 2 weeks in a row where we've had some very dire female characters on these shows.
Let's go home. Anyways, they go party in the graveyard or something, and the episode's over.
Well, no, we get Benedict Wong's tragic backstory.
Oh, yeah.
In a monologue form where he reveals that his parents or his family was killed
By a truck
guy.
So presumably they reincarnated in a fantasy world somewhere and are going on a grand adventure to defeat the Demon Lord.
One would hope.
Kia, come on, Kia. You're supposed to give me a nod here.
I'm nodding quietly in response to this isekai concept you're laying down.
Oh, fuck you.
But yeah, Benedict Wong says, now is the time where I reveal my tragic backstory so that you know that I have motivations. And he does that. And it's
some people deserve to die. Some people don't. And I'm going to make people who kill people for no reason really, really good at killing now.
And then we get Marcus going into his room, which is just like the janitor's closet.
Okay, but really though, that backstory does not gel with the concept of having psychopathic killers at your school at all.
He said something about giving the peasants swords, metaphorically.
And like that slaps in like practice, or it slaps in like concept, but doesn't really work in the practice that this guy seems to be doing.
If you're training all these kids to overthrow capitalism, but instead he's just like enforcing the status quo. It looks like. Really,
yeah. The only person who wants to overthrow capitalism right now is Marcus.
And not really. He's just killing one man. He thinks that's
the heart of capitalism. Ronald W. Reagan.
Ronald Gipper Reagan.
The Gip.
Rondell Reagan.
Alright, so...
So yeah, any final thoughts on this show?
Baffling.
It's okay, I guess.
Yeah, it's alright. I mean, I don't know. I'm very torn on this. Because, like, part of it is, like, oh, there's something to the concept, but I don't know.
Just go read the Shonen Jump manga Assassination Classroom instead.
You know, someone mentioned that was a thing to me today.
Yeah. Wow.
As I was talking about this show. So.
Yeah, I was thinking about how I was going to bring it up on this episode as well.
Well, congrats.
That's good.
Or I guess there's a show called Assassination Classroom. You could watch that too.
Yeah, there's an anime.
Yeah, if you don't want to read.
Well, you still have to read since it's not dubbed.
If you don't want to read.
It's probably dubbed.
Or if you want to read, go check out the comic. It's probably better than this.
Just do something!
Is that the show with the yellow guy who's really fast?
Yes, he's super powerful. And he destroyed half the moon.
Is he training the students to kill him?
Yes.
Well, yes.
But they can't.
If they fail to kill him, he'll destroy the Earth at the end of the semester, at the end of the school year.
Yeah, this sounds anime as shit.
It's good.
All right. So that's I'm gonna give it a tune out, I think.
Yeah, maybe it's one of those shows that gets better as it goes along, but I don't care for that pattern.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm giving this one a tune out. Kiorein?
Yeah, I can't recommend this. I mean, it's just way too sloppy.
Yeah, I thought, like,
that's right.
After I finished the episode, I was like, this is okay, I guess. But then as it's dwelled on me more and I've talked about it, yeah.
It's over the place a little. bit much.
Yeah. Like, when you think about it, Marcus just reveals that he's going to kill Ronald Reagan with, like, very little buildup.
Yeah.
Like, we know why, I guess, but, like, still. He just says it, and we're like, oh, I guess that's a thing he wants.
Yeah.
They could have spent a lot more time explaining the concept and making things more consistent.
It's like if Ash Ketchum was just like, I'm going to be a Pokemon master. And we only got 10 seconds to dwell on that before he got the Pikachu.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a tune out for Deadly Class. And that'll about do it for this week's episode, guys. We have an email. If you have any quips, comments, questions, foresights, or otherwise, you can send them to us at our email address, tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com.
You got my hopes up. I thought you meant that we had an email this week.
No.
To read.
Sorry. What's the email, Kiorein?
tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com.
Nah, that can't be it.
Yeah, I don't know if that's right. Ah, well, that's right.
You can also find us at Twitter at tvtuners. Pipe in with any comments, questions, concerns, or foresights or omens, and we'll respond.
And we use the hashtag TVTuners, and we'll take a glance at that as well. We're also on Twitter as ourselves. I'm on Twitter at Jesse Swanson.
I'm on Twitter at Stairmaster2.
Oh, I don't use social media. I'm off the grid.
Whoa, a real man of nature. Kieran likes hemp.
No cell phones. We're just here in the moment.
Yeah,
I'm in a tree right now.
Wow. Yeah. So that's about it for this week's episode. Be sure to follow us, subscribe on any of the podcatchers of your choice.
Give us 5 stars.
We're on Apple, Google Play, Stitcher, all of the favorites.
Uber, Lyft.
Yeah, we can listen to us on Lyft. Be sure to give us.
Ask your driver.
Yeah, be sure to recommend. give us 5 stars. All of the good stuff. Write a review; it really helps get us noticed.
Talk to your local grocery store clerk about us.
Talk to your local congressman or woman.
Write a letter to your library.
Call the police.
And tell them that they have to listen to this. Alright, that's it for this week's episode. We'll be back next week with more TV goodness. Until then, keep watching. It's over.
I found him.